Hello everyone, it is Friday, August 11, 2017. Of course, Wednesday was New Comic Book Day, and last week was a very small week. This week was a very large week, so we are going to go through the books very quickly, and I am going to show you a couple books that I think are going to be very sought after down the road. So, and I have I have some new books I picked up for the shop, or actually for inventory for when I reopen the shop, so I'll show you those as well. Right into the book, Snot Girl, number 6. Trinity 11. Sorry about the bad glare. I'm doing this video during the day, so a little bit more light. Archie 22. Of course, they were saying someone was going to die. Nobody dies. Miraculously, they come out of the coma. Batwoman 5. Rebirth. Baby Teeth number 3. Still kind of on the fence about this book. I was excited for it, but not so much now. I will give it a few more issues. Harley Quinn 25. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. Punisher looks like the latest victim. Cool cover, I thought. Amazing Spider-Man 31. Edge of Venomverse number 4. Excuse me. I talk about this book all the time. I like it. I hope you guys got on it. Not my Scooby-Doo, I remember. Scooby Apocalypse 16. Really, really nice book. Detective 962. I'm putting the books on the table here, so I keep turning away from the video. Flash 28. I can't tell if that's part of the book or... These white covers that they do on these Flashes, they really cause some issues. Another True Believers number 1. I'm enjoying what Marvel's doing with these. Giving you a high-key book for $1 as just like to read the storyline. Now, I know there are people out there who believe that they should have, the originals. If you can afford it for your collection, by all means, get the original. If not, you just want to read it, there it is for $1. Does not get any better than that. Prelude to Metal, the casting. Kind of like that cover. Is Green Lantern again. Horrible glare, sorry. Green Lantern, Batman, and the Joker. Book flew off the shelves here. This cover, I should say, flew off the shelves. Rebirth 12, Supergirl. Mendoza's new concept, Danger Doll Squad. Of course, his 3 creations, Dollface, Zombie Tramp, and Vamp Blade. We'll see how that works. What I am enjoying, they re-released some of the earlier works that he did in comic book form. This was Zombie Tramp number 2. I loved the early covers of those books because people really hadn't seen anything like that before, and it was very limited. So he's getting more and more popular, and with that, I think some of it's starting to suffer a little bit. Flash Rebirth 26. You can tell a Cho cover by the body type of the character. We talked about this in a previous video. I think Harley Quinn is a little more slender than that, but that's okay. If that's the way he draws it and people like it, more power to them. That was the Harley Quinn 25. Suicide Squad 22. Spider-Man Deadpool 20. Again, I apologize for the glare. And the 2 books that I think are really going to do something. First one, Dead of Winter. These are both independent press books. This is Dead of Winter. And when I read this, this had Walking Dead written all over it. They introduced a firefighter. They introduced a firefighter character. And they introduced what they call their white trash character. Of course, that is going to be Rick's policeman and Daryl's hillbilly. So that was Dead of Winter. Again, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it, but the story was pretty good, and I like the dog. I think the dog is going to be good. And this is the definite pick of the week. This is a book that I think is really going to do something. This is Kurt Sutter's, From the Mind of Kurt Sutter. If you don't know who Kurt Sutter is, Kurt Sutter was the mind behind the Sons of Anarchy. He also did some stuff for FX on The Shield, which was another really good show that I enjoyed that he did. He did a lot of the writing concept. Sons of Anarchy was all his. The Shield, he was just a writer on that program. And then he had another one, The Bastard Executioner, that came out for FX, which did not do very well. And I couldn't really get into that. I didn't really like the concept of that one, but Big Sons of Anarchy fan, love the Shield. And that book is Sisters of Sorrow. And if you read this book, this has FX written all over it. And they already have the connection to Kurt Sutter because FX loves Kurt Sutter. This is going to be a TV show. It might not happen tomorrow. Sisters of Sorrow is going to be a TV show, which means that book is going to blow through the roof. It is from Boom Studios, and if you can find it, I suggest you buy it. So, my pick of the week, Sisters of Sorrow, so that's what I picked up. So, as you know, I am shutting down the shop, and it's going to be a temporary close. Now, someone sent me a message saying, I don't know what that means, but I'll get into that at the end of the video. So, guy comes in, he's like, yeah, I saw that you're shutting down, but are you still interested in buying some books? Yes, I am, because all I'm doing is buying books for inventory, putting them away, and when the shop reopens, bigger and better, boom, I have a bunch of books to put out there again. So, we talk, he shows me some books. He says, are you interested? I said, absolutely, I'm interested. Let's make a deal. So, he shows me his books. I go through a big stack of books. I pick out a couple that I'm interested in. Condition was not all that great. There were some fingerprint issues on some of the books. Some of the older books, you can see it's like a fingerprint, like a cop took ink and put a fingerprint right on it. So I'm not putting anything like that in my book, in my shop, excuse me. So here's some of the books I picked up from them. These were mostly little mid-lower. The one book is a mid-high, and then the ones I'm going to show you in later on are going to be high grade. So, first book I picked up was a Showcase 55. This is in a VG condition, but it is a very sought-after book and hard to find. So I was very happy to find that one. He's brought me a Tales to Astonish. This is number 80. I graded this out of Fine Plus. Now remember, my grading is a lot more difficult than other people's grading. So my Fine Plus is other people's higher grades. Daredevil 18, Man Without Fear, of course, First Gladiator. I graded that out as a fine, very fine. Very nice book. Conan number 1. I graded this a VG fine, but again, very sought after book. Sorry for the glare. Very hard to find that book. And the big purchase for that particular day was in a fine, very fine, because the book is very nice, but there is a little bit of issues as it relates to some ink. But I have seen worse, terrible books in this book sell for big money. So that is Amazing Spider-Man 300. There is that. So that's what I picked up the first day. So he says, what do you want to give? I said, what are you looking to get? They're your books. You have an idea of what you want for them. He throws a price out there for me. I say, okay, you know what? I think we can work on that. And we made the deal. He was happy. I was happy. So that's what I picked up the first day. He goes home, sends me a message and says, hey, do you want to pick up some more books and come take a look at my trailer? So I go there. I walk into this hot trailer. Comic book boxes everywhere. I'm going through these boxes and I don't see anything that really stands out at me. I was able to pick up a couple of things at a good price. Most of it was 80s and 90s, nothing like the AS300 or the Conan. So this is the stuff I did pick up. Now these are all super high grade. This was Suicide Squad 23. This is the first Oracle. X Factor 24, first Archangel, and this is also signed by Bob Wiacek on the first page, like old artists used to do in inkers. Wolverine 10, first Sabretooth battle with the Wolverine. And that's a very high grade there. All these were higher grade. Wolverine number 1. Now, this book would have been a 9.8, but the only problem with it is it was miscut on the top. That is a printing defect when it comes out of the publishers, where the machine cuts it wrong, but it still affects the grade in my opinion. So this would have been a 9.8. It drops down to an 8.5 because of that printing cut. That's how it is. And the best book I picked up from him on that day was a very high grade copy of X Factor number 6. Of course, that is the first Apocalypse. So that's what I picked up there. And then he calls me and says, hey, do you want to buy more stuff? I'll bring more stuff to your shop. So I said, sure. And the next day he calls and he tells me, yeah, I'm not going to make it. I got some guys coming in to buy a bunch of books. I said, okay. So he sends me a text and says, hey, they bought a bunch of stuff from me, and I told them about your fingerprint issue, and they laughed at you saying that fingerprints don't damage a book. Well, fingerprints do damage a book. And the problem is you got too many people out there who don't know how to grade books, who think that fingerprints and blended quarters and spine ticks and things like that are just nature of the beast and it's okay. It's not okay. But what happens is when people bring their collections to shops, or people bring their collections to people who know how to grade a book, or are honest with people about the issues with their books, and you're showing them the issues with their books, and then someone comes up and says, oh, that's not true because, that doesn't matter if it's folded in half. It doesn't matter. It's the condition of the book. A fingerprint affects the condition of the book. So your concept about, they say it's only the condition of the book that matters, that affects the condition of the book. So he was like, yeah, well, they bought a bunch of stuff and thanks. I said, okay, well, thank you for letting me get some of the books from you. So I was happy with that. So with that said, I got a comment from a viewer who said, hey, you know what? I'm tired of you not being specific about, what you're doing about closing. I thought I was very specific. I got a new job. I have to close, but I am going to reopen down the road. That's pretty cut and dry right there. And a lot of my customers or a lot of my viewers came to my attention and said that. I'm not going to give this guy a whole lot of airtime. I'm just going to say this. If you want to say something to me and you want to lash out at me, you can lash out at me all you want. It's a free world. I don't get all butthurt when someone says mean things about me or when someone gives me a down thumb on my video. It is your right to do that. The one thing I do not accept, though, is please do not talk about my family and my kids in the context of my videos and badmouth them. If you do that, you and I are not going to be friends, and I just don't want to get into that. So because of the comments that he made, his comments were erased. So that's why you don't see your comments on the videos, because you bring my family into it, it takes it to a whole new level and a whole new ball game. So that was my video this week. Some of the older stuff I picked up, not real old, but a couple of nice books. Sisters of Sorrow, the new books I picked up. Again, appreciate all the support, everybody watching the videos. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if that's what you feel. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I'll have another video out real soon. So, as always, I hope you liked the video. But if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night or a great day.